Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, talking all about Sting and his injuries that he received wrestling at Night of Champions 2015 against Seth Rollins when he took the two buckle bombs into the corner, injuring his neck, making it where he was barely able to finish the championship match, the main event of Night of Champions 2015, and where that leaves Sting and his foreseeable future in WWE. There's been a few stories coming out about Sting. Basically he was on the Ric Flair podcast where he talked about these injuries, where basically Sting said that he has gone and seen Dr. Maroon up in Pittsburgh, and Dr. Maroon says that he does need to do some sort of surgery on his neck to get it cleaned up. He's having problems basically with the spinal cord, and at his age, that's not good. Definitely people were outspoken about Sting wrestling in the main event against Seth Rollins. There are some people who thought it was a good thing. There were some people who thought it was a bad thing. Sting, who's wrestling on borrowed time, did get into great shape for the match, but honestly, at the end of the day, I don't think that, the situation that Sting's in right now was worth him, being in the main event of a pay-per-view. It did give a little pop to wrestling. I remember us waiting and waiting for when Sting was finally going to sign to WWE. But honestly, I was even outspoken at that time. I only wanted Sting to come in and have one match at WrestleMania. I wanted him to make a Sting documentary, and then I wanted him to go into the Hall of Fame. And now we've got two of those three things done. We're waiting on that Hall of Fame announcement. I do believe that Sting is the guy who's going to go into the Hall of Fame this year. I don't really think there's anybody else that could do it. I mean, there's lots of guys that I want to make sure I'm there when I see Sting, when I see them go into the Hall of Fame, whether that's like Undertaker, Triple H, Vince McMahon, The Rock. There's guys like that. And then everybody else just sort of is there. I think that the way they've treated the Hall of Fame the last few years, shoving tons of names in there all at once, when they should honestly have one good main eventer. They should have one women's wrestler, one maybe tag team, a foreign guy that brings in some foreign press for WrestleMania. That's the way that we should be doing WrestleMania. And you go back throughout the years and you think about, when you jam-packed, like when Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan both went into at the same class, and then every year you can sort of pick, like, you've got your big main eventer, and then you've got some mid-card guys, but they put the Four Horsemen in there the same year that they put Edge in there, I believe. And the Four Horsemen should have easily been the catalyst of being a main event of their own class, with everything that they mean to professional wrestling. But there's not many guys that I think that they can go into the Hall of Fame, and it means something. Definitely Sting is going to be going in and get his neck worked on. There's lots of people who have had neck problems in wrestling. You got to think of like Kurt Angle, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Edge, Chris Benoit. All guys have gone in. Some guys have done neck fusion surgery. Some guys haven't. I know that people speak out against neck fusion surgery, basically saying that if you get your neck fused, it's something that, like, it makes you better. But if something goes wrong with your neck over time, they can never fix it again. And I think that's the problem that Edge is having, where basically they went in, they fixed Edge's neck, and he wrestled for a long time, and then basically when his neck went bad around WrestleMania 27 is basically when they just turned the lever off, and were like, you're done. You're done, because we don't want to end up pushing you around in a wheelchair. And he made the right choice with what he's doing. And there are rumors out there of Sting still being a part of WrestleMania 32. I read that story yesterday, and I just shook my head. There's no way in the world that he's going to be able to wrestle, and I don't even think that he's a guy that people want to see wrestle. I mean, the match that's being tossed out there is Bray Wyatt versus Sting, in a match that I'm not in any hurry to make sure that I see this match. I just want Sting to be healthy. He did his time. He made a lot of money. Just have him sit on that ranch and enjoy the rest of his life. He just got married. We all saw that on the Sting documentary that WWE popped out. let him enjoy his life. Let him ride out the last years. If he's going to be going around and doing, Legends autograph signings and things like that, that's good. That's a good part of the wrestling business for him to give back to his fans and things like that. But Sting doesn't need to be in a WWE ring again, and I don't think that's a knock on him. He's not one of my favorite wrestlers. But I do respect everything that he's done for the wrestling business, and it's good for him to ride off into sunset on a good light. Hopefully, he will be able to be a part of WrestleMania 32 and go to the Hall of Fame and get his big piece in wrestling history.